Hempstead and Nevada counties under tornado warnings for a cell that could potentially produce a tornado. There's the polygon indicating the tornado warning that's going to go up to our newscast right at 5 o'clock. And here are the areas that will be impacted and affected with this warning this afternoon. We're talking about Hope, Perrytown, Prescott, Emmett, Laneburg, Centerville. These areas in southwest Arkansas. There's a very active cluster of storms in this area. Severe thunderstorm watch issued earlier in the day for some damaging wind and some large hail. And possibility of a tornado cannot be ruled out in this part of the state. So there's also a severe thunderstorm warning till 5, but the tornado warning is what we're mainly focused on. And it's going to be a little difficult here in the very beginning to find that main area of circulation. But lots of lightning here in our wind mode, gathering thunder, or strengthening thunderstorm, I should say, that is capable of producing a tornado. I would imagine it's right about down in here around Hope and Perrytown, just to the south of the I-30 corridor. A lot of wind with it. Even though we may not get a tornado out of it, there could be some very strong straight line wind gusts as this cell moves to the east, northeast. And let's see. Do we know the speed, Nathan? Have you had a chance to see how quickly it's moving to the east?
35 miles per hour.
35 miles per hour. We'll drop storm track on it just to give you folks down here that watch us an idea as to where it's going to be heading. It looks like it's going to be right around the time rush hour, heading home from work, maybe even a couple of schools getting out late. But this is the area, southwest Arkansas. You've got Hope in Hempstead County, Nevada County with that tornado warning until 5 o'clock. And it's really far enough away from our radar where it's a little difficult to pick up where the couplet may be. I think it's somewhere around Perrytown, Centerville, Arkansas, close to Emmett. So let's go ahead and put a storm track on it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm looking at Storm Track 11. We're looking at the Shreveport radar because Little Rock is just too far.
Right.
Little Rock beam hits it about 10,000 feet. Meanwhile, Shreveport, although it's still pretty high, hits that storm around 7,000 feet. So we're getting a better reading, but still, we can't really see what's exactly happening at the low levels of this cell, but where you see that bright blue pixel very close to Hope. So it's going to be very close to Hope and Emmett, moving to the east about 35 miles per hour. So if you're watching us in Hope, into Emmett's right on the border of Nevada County and Hempstead County. And then it's going to get, looks like, pretty close to Prescott as well. So Prescott, you're under that tornado warning. You want to go ahead and take your tornado precautions along with Laneburg, Bluff City, and if it continues to progress its way, it will be moving towards Wheeling Springs and potentially maybe even into parts of Ouachita County that we'll have to watch out for. But this is the only cell that we're concerned about, Tom. Let's go over to Max now, and I'll put a track on that for you.
We'll do that. Yeah, this is Max 1 showing our live wind mode. It's when we talk about velocities or couplets, when we have those reds and blues next to one another. If they're tightly compact, we're able to tell where the circulation is located. But here is the tornado warned storm. Could have some damaging wind, some very heavy rainfall with it, and a lot of lightning around the center of where we could see a possible tornado developing. And there it is, the cell itself, and it's not far from Centerville. Looks like it's right over the top of Hope at this time in Perrytown. Let's go ahead and put that track on it, and we'll get some other locations. If you're picking this up in southwest Arkansas, it's a good idea if you live out in advance downstream to have your safe place ready to go. Again, we encourage you to find the lowest part of your home. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you possibly can. Take something to cover up your head. There are the locations: 447 Perrytown, 437, excuse me, within a minute. Emmett, Laneburg, Gum Grove, Wheeling Springs, Good Hope, and Chittister, Arkansas. That's the polygon. That is the track of this tornado warned storm moving to the east at roughly 35 miles per hour. These storms last night did the same thing, 25 to 35 mile per hour movement. So it is now right over the top of Hope and Perrytown with that eastward movement. So there's the track. And we could try live wind mode. We've kind of got an overlap between the Shreveport's radar and the National Weather Service radar in this part of the state. But if there's any circulation, it's going to be right in here near Perrytown, between Perrytown and Centerville, running along Highway 73, if that sounds familiar. Just to the south of I-30, there's 174. Emmett, you're not going to be completely out of the woods on this, but if we do see something developing, it's going to be near the Perrytown area. Nathan?
Yeah, I agree with you, Tom. Again, we can't get a really good reading on exactly what's happening with this cell just because the radar beam is so high. So anywhere from Hope, Perrytown, Emmett, Centerville, be in your safe place. That rotation could be anywhere in that location. It doesn't look like it's a significant amount of rotation, but it's just enough that the National Weather Service has decided to go ahead and issue a tornado warning. This is a Doppler radar indicated tornado. There has been no confirmed damage or sightings or funnel cloud as of yet, but this is a supercell thunderstorm and we have to watch it very closely. I think the best chance of severe weather through the course of the evening will be primarily for locations south of Little Rock, Tom, because our conditions have started to drop in terms of the dew points going down, but there's still going to be some storms out there, as you can see them rolling through northern parts of Clark County, getting into Hot Spring County, and then also getting into Howard County. So all this is making its way off to the east and almost a little bit northeast direction as I put on the radar loop here, and you can see that motion. So the weather will be going downhill. If you're watching us in Sheridan, Pine Bluff, Fordyce, Camden, all through the course of the evening, this whole ball of wax with a batch of showers and storms that may produce damaging wind gusts, large hail in isolated areas, and we do have that small chance of a tornado will be making its way through South Arkansas. North Arkansas, you should not have any worries whatsoever just because your temperatures have cooled down. You had those storms earlier, and now the atmosphere is much more stable compared to what's happening into South Arkansas.
Yeah, here's Little Rock, Pulaski County. We're talking about I-30, Southwest Arkansas. Hope you're in the path of this. Actually, it may be just a little to the east of you now. Hempstead County, Nevada County, northern Nevada County. There is our tornado warned polygon along with a severe thunderstorm warned polygon that covers up about the western half of Hempstead County. Northern Nevada County, and folks, this is right on the fringe of the THV11 viewing area. We do have some folks down here that pick us up. If you live in Prescott, Bluff City, just a moment ago, the Weather Service down in Shreveport said Prescott and Emmett, the storm will be close to you here by right now, 440. It's a good idea to make sure that if you live a little bit downstream from this, you're getting into some other southern Clark County. Folks there might want to go ahead and get their safe place ready to go in case this holds together with some rotation being detected. And that's what's prompted the tornado warning here in the southwestern part of the state. We talk a lot about the live winds mode. We have our velocity. We look for those couplets. They help us determine where the rotation is located. You got winds in the blue blowing toward radar, the winds in the yellow and orange blowing away. So that gives us an idea of where the circulation may be. Right now it looks like it's possibly around Highway 371. Here's Prescott, Arkansas. Hope to the southwest. Somewhere in this general area, got a little radar overlap, and we're way far away here in Little Rock from this radar standpoint. So one of the things we like to do is just take a look at it reflectivity mode. We talk a lot about the classic hook echoes with these storms, and there's certainly something right here straddling Highway 67 and near 371, just to the east of 371 there. So this is the area of the storm we're most concerned with. Right now, Prescott's getting some very heavy rain, possibly some hail, and some strong wind gusts, but the circulation is just to the south and southwest of Prescott. There's the hail, possibly upwards of quarter-sized in that area. Could be a little bit less than that by the time it makes it to the ground. Nathan mentioned just a moment ago, too, with the cluster of storms, severe storms moving through this part of the state. This is where the greatest threat of severe weather exists for this afternoon and this evening. Here's a broader perspective. We still have the severe thunderstorm watch that covers up a good part of Arkansas. That's till 5 o'clock. I would look for an extension here in southern and south central Arkansas. This area is going to affect the metro area for the rush hour coming up in the next hour or so in terms of the rain. A little more of a stabilized atmosphere here, but the most volatile right now is over southwest Arkansas along I-30.
Tom, the National Weather Service out of Shreveport is saying they will have a new watch probably for a large chunk of South Arkansas. I would say until 9, 10 o'clock at least, just because we still have those storms bubbling up. The atmosphere is much more unstable in that part of the state. Meanwhile, I think the watch will be allowed to expire for Little Rock and off to the north as our atmosphere is becoming more stable. We are seeing those dew points start to drop down, so the lack of moisture is going to play a factor in these storms not being able to reach their maximum potential. Different story, though, down to the south. So once again, You have to watch out Pine Bluff, Sheridan, Fordyce, Star City, Rison, Hampton, Camden, because all of this activity is making its way in your direction. So the rain will be picking up, and it could be locally heavy rainfall. Watch out for some potential flash flooding issues. That certainly has been the case around the Memphis area earlier this afternoon. But there is the cell we're watching very closely. It is electrified to the max. We've got a lot of lightning strikes. And once again, we see all that lightning clustered around a cell such as this. It is showing us it's got a lot of inflow happening, a lot of being drawn in with the warm, moist air, allowing the updraft to grow way up into the atmosphere and produce not only potential of damaging winds, but also this is showing rotation. It's not a lot of rotation, but once again, you never want to let your guard down. You want to take the safest route. So Prescott, you have to be in your safe place because that rotation is most likely very close to you or right on top of you at this time. And when we take a look at the warnings just within the polygon and some of the roads and some of the communities and towns within this tornado warning polygon, the biggest town is going to be Prescott, and they can see Redland, Laneburg, Highway 24, we've got Highway 53, Highway 371, Highway 67, Highway 299, all in this tornado warning polygon. So if you're watching us in this location, you're in this tornado warning polygon, you have to get to the lowest level of sturdy structure into your hallway, into your bathroom, just in case there is something that drops from the clouds. We are still looking at everything from the National Weather Service out of Shreveport. And again, this is still a Doppler radar indicated tornado, but we just don't have a good reading just because the radar is so far away, Tom.
It is far, far away. So yeah, I would say Emmett, Prescott, if you're picking us up even over to Redland, Laneburg, and these communities in between, you're under the gun right now with this tornado warned storm till 5 o'clock this afternoon, and they may extend it just a bit. Severe thunderstorm watch is coming for a good majority of the coverage zone, according to the National Weather Service. So they're going to extend the severe thunderstorm watch. I was curious if they might make it a tornado watch, since, sometimes you do get tornado warnings in these severe thunderstorm watches. Right here, this appendage would give us the best clue by looking at reflectivity from this far away that there could be something spinning here, and that's between Highway 299 and Highway 53. It's moving to the east, so Laneburg is in the direct path. A little farther to the north, we're also picking up some circulation near Prescott. Redland, you're in the path of this. If you live Highway 371, 299, anywhere in this area down in southwest Arkansas, I'm talking about Hempstead and Nevada County in southwest Arkansas, these counties under the gun with that tornado warning and severe thunderstorm warning that's going to pretty much expire about, if they don't continue to extend it, around the time we hit news time at 5 o'clock. There you go. There's a better representation. Some wind possibly over Redland, Arkansas, Prescott. And again, we talk about the colors and the couplets and what we're looking at here velocity-wise. Nathan, do we have a pretty good shot on rotation mode with Storm Track 11? Is that showing up better where we might see rotation in this part of the state? If we can get, we'll get Storm Track ready. There's Storm Track 11.
That's a velocity, and it does show the velocity a little bit better than what we're seeing on max, but here is the rotation. So if there's something happening, it's going to be very close to Prescott and right along Highway, that's Highway 24, I believe. Let me just make sure. So right around Redland is going to be the location, Highway 24. If there's something happening with this cell and it's producing a tornado or trying to produce a tornado at any moment, it would be right along Highway 24. So Wheeling Springs, certainly get ready just in case, because this rotation is headed in your direction and they may need to extend that tornado warning, potentially getting into southern parts of Clark County.
Yeah, this is the responsibility of Shreveport National Weather Service. And to explain how the viewing area works, we have a couple of counties in southwest Arkansas that overlap with Shreveport. And then it gets into the Little Rock warning area, and that's Clark County, Washita County. So we'll keep an eye on this. They may extend this tornado warning any moment now that would include southern Clark County. And there's the best, really the best visible vantage point we have of any rotation happening between Prescott and Wayland Springs in southwest Arkansas. There it is right there.
That's Little Rock. So we're really in between radars now. This is
that's tough to see.
Yeah, this is the zone that makes things a little more difficult, because we have both Little Rock and Shreveport looking at the storm cell above 9,000 feet above the surface. So we really cannot gauge what's happening closer to the surface. So that's why you just want to take this seriously, just in case there is something happening. When we take a look at the rotation within Little Rock, it's also still showing that same location compared to what we're seeing with Shreveport, both around Prescott and headed towards Wheeling Springs. So again, this is Doppler radar indicated tornado warning. Nothing has been confirmed. We're not seeing any damage reports come in, which is all good news, but just the fact that this is a supercell thunderstorm, we just have to take it seriously, because any moment these cells can start to produce a quick tornado, and it may last, a minute, 5 minutes, and then be done, and that's about it. But we just don't want to take any chances here.
Yeah, and what we're doing is going back and forth between 2 or 3 different products: our rotation mode, our wind velocity mode, our reflectivity mode. Since we have that bit of an overlap, and you're looking from Little Rock down toward the southwest part of the state, this is, I like to call it no man's land in a way, because it's hard to depict where exactly the rotation is located. But Nathan just showed you a few moments ago. We can go to Max 1 if you want. You can see in the live winds mode where those colors come together, those couplets come together, the blues and the reds. You'll be able to pick up that area most likely of rotation. We go look at Max 1. Thank you very much. And there it is right here, northern parts of Nevada County. So I would say this: Clark County, there's no warning yet. If you're picking us up around the Gurdon area in southern Clark County, make sure you have your safe place ready to go. This is downstream a bit. We still have a ways to go. The storm is moving east at 35 miles per hour, and you're still going to get quite a bit of the wind threat with it. Straight line winds, some very heavy rain, some hail. But southern Clark County, this is getting awfully close to you. Highway 371 and 67. If you know those highways around Prescott, Arkansas, and southwest Arkansas, that's the area that we're talking about. Still looks like a fairly significant appendage here. Lots of lightning. Storm continues to hold together, may intensify a bit. Looks like a new warning, or at least an extension possibly, has been added. Is that right?
That was me just taking off the warning and putting it back on.
Okay. No problem.
Operator error there.
No, that's fine. Tornado warning for Nevada County and Hempstead County till 5 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm warning also in effect for this cell that could potentially produce tornado. And southwest Arkansas, well away from the Little Rock area, but still in our THV11 viewing area. We owe it to you to make sure that you're safe and know what's happening around you. Looks like some rotation near Redland, Arkansas. Highway 53 and 371. This is going to skirt very close to Wheeling Springs in southern Clark County, just south of Gurdon. You've got a few other places: Ouachita County, Vaden, Arkansas, Chittister, Bluff City. Just some locations to keep in mind. Keep your guard up in case this cell gets close to you. It's moving due east at 35.
And I'm looking at Little Rock, Tom, to see if they're going to issue anything as this moves into Clark County very shortly. They have not said anything just yet, but you will not be able to see this tornado if it is happening at this time, because it is going to be rain wrapped. We've got quite a bit of rain, torrential rain falling in this part of Nevada County, about to enter into southern parts of Clark County. Let me freeze the radar here for you so you can get a better view and take off the lightning. Once again, this is a lot of lightning associated with this storm, but where that red is and the darker red is, that is heavy rain. And then when you take a look at the winds within the cell, that little couplet right there is also wrapped within the heavy rain. So you're not going to be able to see it.
No.
It's going to be rain wrapped, and there's also a little bit of rotation trying to develop around Laneburg, as you saw with that appendage trying to develop. When we go back over to the rain data or reflectivity data with this cell,
there's Laneburg.
There's just a little hook trying to develop right over Laneburg. So there's a few areas of rotation. They're fairly weak, but again, we just have to be on our guard. Don't write it off. Stay in your safe place if you're watching us in those locations. I think the danger has now since passed the city of Prescott. If we take a look at the winds, just to make sure that rotation is well to the east of Prescott, and it is going to be, once again, right along Highway 24 and headed towards the intersection of Highway 53 and also Highway 368. So Wheeling Springs, right along the border of Clark County, Nevada County, and Ouachita County is where the highest risk there could be a quick tornado that may be happening shortly if this continues to tick up in rotation. And we'll have to see if they decide from the National Weather Service out of Little Rock. They're switching hands here because Nevada is covered by the National Weather Service out of Shreveport. So Shreveport, I'm sure, is talking to the National Weather Service out of Little Rock, and they will make a decision whether or not to go with a severe thunderstorm warning for Clark County into northern parts of Ouachita County, or go with the tornado warning.
And that's what we're waiting on to see what's going to happen next. Now, we know they're going to extend the watch over southern Arkansas here shortly. Looking for the warning from Clark County, though, to see if they're going to extend the warning. It's getting awfully close to the border. This is Clark County, Willing Springs. You've got Gurdon to the north. You've got Nevada County, then Ouachita counties to the east. So right along the southern part of the Little Rock viewing area and the National Weather Service responsibility. So looking for that update anytime now. While we wait for that, we do have more strong showers and storms occurring to the north that are not warned. It's a cluster moving from northwest to southeast over the southwestern part of Arkansas. This is where the dynamics, the atmosphere is a little more juiced up. Northern and central Arkansas have calmed down a bit. So this is the area for the rest of the evening that we'll keep a close eye on for the potential for severe thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes, large hail, and strong and damaging wind gusts. And lots of heavy rain, too. These storms are going to dump a lot of rainfall. Flooding can also be a problem with these storms. This is Nevada County right here. And that storm is covering up Nevada County. Lots of lightning with it, so it's maintaining strength. A couple of more cells in extreme northeast Texas and Louisiana. Right now, Little Rock area for the afternoon drive home, it's going to be impacted by rain. Some of that rain could be heavy, so your loved ones might be a little late getting in tonight. And moving down the I-30 corridor, stronger showers and storms now over Hot Spring, Garland County, moving out of northern Clark County. So that's what's happening close to home here as we await the decision from the Weather Service on whether or not they're going to extend this. I would ask our producer, JD, what do you want to do? We could go into news mode at 5 o'clock if we don't have a warning. If not, we'll keep it right here. We'll warn folks at home. Okay, we'll do that. Okay. All right. So that's the storm in question with the tornado warning and also severe thunderstorm warning. Again, no confirmation of anything that's touched down. No damage reports, but strong enough rotation. Like the cells last night, there was enough mid-level rotation to warrant those tornado warnings, but we just never really saw it reach the ground. We had a couple of reports of funnel clouds last night. It's very warm and soupy out there right now. Temperatures are in the 80s here in Little Rock, 82. It's 87 in Monticello, 75 Arkadelphia. A lot of this is rain-cooled from the afternoon convection that's occurred here. And I would imagine that for the rest of the evening, the southern half of Arkansas will have to deal with thunderstorms that could be strong to severe and some very heavy rainfall. All right. Still waiting on whether they're not going to reissue. I guess we can go back to the action here. And this is in far southwest Arkansas. Hempstead County, Nevada County still have the warning till 5 o'clock. This cell is getting awfully close now to southern Clark County. Don't let your guard down in Clark County. We're talking about Wheeling Springs, just south of Gurdon. And that cluster is holding together, Nathan.
Yeah, let's go over to Storm Track 11 because we'll take a look at the velocity data or the winds within this cell. This is looking from Shreveport, and we'll switch back and forth to see if there's a comparison. Once again, we're looking pretty high into the atmosphere, about 10,000 feet, but there's certainly some rotation happening with this as it makes its way right along the border almost of Nevada County, about to move into Clark County, at the triple point of where Clark County, Nevada County, and Ouachita County meet. So this rotation, if it is still producing low-level rotation, it's going to be headed towards Wheeling Springs. And we're just waiting and waiting to see if the National Weather Service is going to go with a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag or a tornado warning. But Wheeling Springs, just be prepared to go ahead and get to your safe place because you're not going to have much time when they do issue this, if they do issue something. Let's go over now to Little Rock and we'll take a look at the velocity data with Little Rock's radar, and it's also still showing clearly the colors are different because we're using a different radar, but you can still see that blue and red together. And once again, it's aimed right at Wheeling Springs, right along the border of Clark, Ouachita, Nevada counties. And when we take a look at the rotation detector, and this really
matches
just
up,
pinpoints what's happening with the rotation within this cell. And again, it's right over that same location into Clark, Nevada, and Ouachita counties. We'll take a look at it with, this is Little Rock, so we'll look at Shreveport as well with the rotation tool, and it's also saying the same thing. So It is weak rotation. It is there. We certainly can't rule it out. When we take a look at the rain data, it's once again still rain wrapped. There is no clear area within this rain data that we will be able to say, oh, okay, you will be able to see the tornado if it's headed your way. No, you won't.
No,
it's
not
going to
really,
be in the curtain of heavy rain that makes its way off to the east and northeast. This was going about 35 miles per hour, so
Yeah.
you're in the clear, Prescott. You're done. There is no more threat of severe weather with that cell. Same story in Emmett, even though you're technically still under that tornado warning. The danger has passed off to your east, and you are okay to come out of your safe place. I think once we go back over to Max 1 now, again, it's going to be locations well to the south of Little Rock that has to be on your guard through the course of the evening, because we're also watching out for a new, I believe, severe thunderstorm watch that will be issued.
We
do have that?
Yeah, there are 4 counties in south central and southwest Arkansas that are in that watch from the Shreveport area: Union, Columbia, Lafayette, and Miller. I'm checking to see
we can
what
go back to
counties
Max
in
1, guys.
central Arkansas.
Till 11 o'clock.
Yeah, everybody's in it now till 11 o'clock, a little later tonight. Okay. 4:15, it's about right at 4:59. They're going to expire the severe thunderstorm watch for a good part of central Arkansas, though, here at 5 o'clock. That's what I'm seeing. But yeah, severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect for southwest and south central Arkansas. So that extension has come down. But what we don't have is a new tornado warning.
And the National Weather Service out of Little Rock is saying they're going to go with a severe thunderstorm warning, most likely with a tornado possible tag.
Okay.
So once again, this is a different type of severe thunderstorm warning. Don't let your guard down just because it's a severe thunderstorm warning, but there's still rotation that they're watching, but it's not enough rotation for the National Weather Service to say, okay, we're going to go ahead and issue a tornado warning. A tornado could still happen. So once again, if you're in that area, still safest route, stay away from windows, stay away from doors as this storm passes its way through southern parts of Clark County, northern parts of Ouachita County.
So if the warning is expired for the tornado warning, we'll have a severe thunderstorm warning that we'll update you on here in just a moment. We're getting up close to 5 o'clock. I guess we're going to take a little bit of a break and introduce our news ID, but we'll be back with more weather here in just a moment. I'll let you guys take it.